What are two keys to building financial wealth? Make more money and spend less, which allows you to invest more. For enrichment, let's try considering the Starbucks question. If you invest 1 or 2 Starbucks drinks a day, each drink $7, how much does your investment grow to be in 50 years, assuming 8% growth, according to the Get Smart About Money compound interest calculator? So on this website, this compound interest calculator from this website, Get Smart About Money, we'll assume that you have nothing. But every week, you have $7 a day a drink, multiplied by 7 is $49 a week. We'll assume 8% interest rate, and we'll choose 50 years later. And you can see this is $1.68 million. Now, what if we change it to 10%? This is slightly optimistic. It'll be over $3.7 million. Now, suppose you borrow $1,000 for 3 years at 10% interest. The simple interest formula is very simple. It's not realistic. The amount here is the principal, which is P, $1,000, times the rate. The rate is 10% or 0.1. And time here is 3 years, so T is 3. So we have the interest amount is the principal, 1,000, times 0.10 times time, which is 3 years. And so we have $300 as our interest amount. But we have to add it to the original amount, the original 1,000. So our final answer is we now have $1,300. Now, if this was investments, it'd be favorable to grow your money. But in this case, we're talking about debt. So unfortunately, we're losing money. Now, what if we borrow money off credit cards or take a loan? Now let's calculate it at the end of each year. So you borrow $1,000. After 1 year, we multiply $1,000 times 10%, 1.10. So we now owe $1,100. That's after 1 year. Now what about year 2? We take this amount and we multiply it by 10%, which is 1.10. And in year 2, the new amount is $1,210. We take $1,210 multiplied by 1.10, and finally on year 3 we owe $1,331, which is more than this amount here. The reason why we're paying more is because we're paying interest on top of interest. You owe $5,000 on your credit card. The interest rate is 29.99%. This is quite realistic. How much do you owe at the end of year 1? $5,000 times 1.2999 is 29.9% growth. This is approximately $6,499.50. To figure out the amount after year 2, we take the amount after year 1 and we multiply it by 1.2999 again, and we get over $8,400. Using this very simplistic formula, the simple interest formula, interest equals principal times RT. After 10 years, we have time is 10, the rate is 0.2999, and the principal, the initial amount, is $5,000. And the interest alone is $14,995. According to the simple interest formula, we owe a total of $19,995 after 10 years. In reality, the situation is much worse. There's a fancy formula we'll learn in a future grade called the compound interest formula. Interest is calculated and compounded daily, so the number of periods, n, is 365. The interest rate here is 0.2999, and time is 10 years later, where P is the principal, the initial amount. we see that we actually owe over $100,000. Despite the free perks of using credit cards, how can some financial experts justify cutting up the credit cards? Having a credit card increases the temptation to spend money. Credit cards may, however, make sense if you are financially disciplined. They are not only convenient, they come with rewards such as points or cash back. They come with rewards. Sometimes you get points or cash back incentives. Warren Buffett, a famous billionaire investor, believes that most people should invest in low MER index funds. MER stands for Management Expense Ratio, perhaps 2 or 3%. Banks skim off the interest of your investments. What percentage of professional investors can beat the market? The vast minority. About 9 out of 10 fund managers fail to beat the average. Let's try one more financial problem. Suppose you have $100,000 in investments. Your investments grow at a rate of 8%, but you are charged a MER fee of 2.5%. This is quite typical in Canada. So we subtract these amounts. 8 minus 2.5% is 5.5%. So your money only grows 5.5% because the bank takes that other 2.5%. $100,000 times 5.5% or 0.055 is only $5,500. So the key is to find a good investment with low fees.